From the glimmering red carpets of Hollywood premieres to the polished images seen in glossy magazine spreads, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have long been known as one of the industry's most charming and admired power couples, yet behind the smiles, the witty interviews, and the perfectly timed public appearances, a storm has been brewing, and now that storm has broken with a force few saw coming. The pair has entered what many are calling a full scorched earth phase, a period where every move, every statement, and every appearance seems part of a deliberate high-stakes strategy to take complete control of the narrative surrounding them for months. Whispers of tension, legal maneuvering, and behind-the-scenes disputes have swirled around the couple, but recent events have brought those whispers into the blinding spotlight, turning private battles into public spectacle. This is no quiet retreat from controversy, nor is it a wait-and-see approach. Instead, Blake and Ryan have pushed forward
Subscribe to my channel
with unflinching resolve, making it clear that they will not be passive players in their own story. What is unfolding is more than a simple celebrity feud. It is a complex, layered campaign blending the personal with the professional, weaving together public image management, legal positioning, and media influence into one relentless march forward. The chaos that has erupted has drawn in fans, industry insiders, and analysts alike, creating a moment where speculation is constant and anticipation for the next twist is as high as ever. Each move the couple makes seems to be calculated for maximum effect, whether it is an unexpected public appearance, a carefully worded interview comment, or a subtle shift in their social media presence. The sense of design is unmistakable. They are not merely reacting to events. They are shaping them, driving them, and ensuring that their voices remain the loudest in the room in Hollywood, where perception can be more powerful than fact. This kind of control is invaluable, yet it comes with risks because the higher the profile, the greater the scrutiny becomes still. For now, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds appear to be not only surviving in this high-pressure environment, but thriving, commanding attention, and dictating the pace of the conversation. This is the kind of story that captures imaginations, because it is unfolding in real time, with no script and no guaranteed ending. Only the knowledge that each day could bring a revelation, a confrontation, or a move so unexpected it shifts the entire balance of the situation. And in this moment, with the entertainment world watching closely, it seems clear that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are ready to push this to its absolute limit. And maybe beyond, the entertainment industry has always been a place where unexpected turns and dramatic moments can shift the course of public perception overnight. And the situation surrounding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds has now entered a phase that many are describing as full scorched earth, with both individuals seemingly determined to push their narrative as far as possible and ensure that their side of the story dominates headlines and conversations across multiple platforms. This latest chapter in their ongoing public and professional saga has set off waves of discussion from industry insiders, casual fans, and media analysts who are closely observing each calculated move and its ripple effect through Hollywood. The chaos that has erupted is not simply about one event, but rather a culmination of months of tension, public statements, legal maneuvers, and carefully timed leaks that appear to have built toward this moment, creating a perfect storm of speculation and debate. Those who have followed the events closely note that the couple has faced a range of situations in recent months, from disputes that spilled into the media to the strategic release of information that shaped the public narrative in ways both subtle and overt. What makes this latest development so striking is the intensity with which Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds seem to be pursuing their goals with a level of determination that suggests they are willing to endure the turbulence and controversy in order to secure a decisive advantage in both perception and positioning in the entertainment world. Their approach has been described as fearless by some and risky by others, with even experienced observers of Hollywood politics admitting that the sheer scope of their actions is unusual. One of the key elements fueling the current frenzy is the perception that their strategy is not reactive, but premeditated, with every public move appearing to be part of a broader plan. Whether it is a social media post, an interview comment, or a behind-the-scenes legal filing, each piece seems designed to amplify their message while putting pressure on anyone standing in opposition. It is this element of pressure that has intensified reactions across the board, because in Hollywood, alliances can be fragile and loyalties can shift quickly, especially when high-profile disputes escalate into territory where careers, reputations, and future opportunities are at stake. Industry commentators have noted that while both Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are known for their charm, wit, and ability to win over audiences, They have in recent times displayed a more unyielding and tactical side that is not often seen in public. This shift has created a new layer of intrigue as fans and critics alike try to decode what lies beneath the carefully curated public image. Many are pointing to recent interviews where subtle yet pointed remarks hinted at larger conflicts brewing behind closed doors, remarks that at the time may have seemed harmless, but in hindsight now appear to be part of a longer game of positioning and narrative control. The atmosphere surrounding these developments has also been shaped by the role of the media, which has amplified each twist and turn through relentless coverage from entertainment blogs to primetime news segments, with every new revelation being dissected for meaning and intent. This constant spotlight has only fueled the sense that the situation is spiraling into a high-stakes battle where both sides are locked into a path that leaves little room for retreat. The energy in Hollywood right now is charged with anticipation as insiders speculate about the next move and the potential consequences that could arise not only for those directly involved, but also for the broader network of associates, collaborators, and even projects that might be impacted by the fallout. While some voices in the industry are urging caution and calling for a cooling of tensions, others are watching with fascination as the drama unfolds, seeing it as a rare moment where the polished veneer of celebrity life is peeled back to reveal the raw strategic maneuvering that often drives decisions in this high-profile world. As the days pass without any sign of de-escalation, the sense of unpredictability grows, creating an environment where any public appearance, any new statement, or any unexpected leak could set off another round of intense scrutiny and heated discussion. The broader cultural conversation has also taken on a life of its own, as fans on social media engage in spirited debates, sharing theories, opinions, and interpretations of each development, while hashtags related to the story trend regularly and further amplify the narrative. The couple themselves have remained enigmatic in their direct comments, often choosing to let actions speak louder than words, which only deepens the intrigue and keeps audiences guessing as to what their ultimate aim might be. The result is a situation that feels less like a series of disconnected events and more like a tightly woven storyline that is unfolding in real time, with each chapter building upon the last and raising the stakes in ways that few could have predicted. Those who have been part of Hollywood long enough recognize the patterns and understand that moments like this can redefine how a figure is perceived for years to come. Whether that redefinition will benefit or harm Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds in the long run is still an open question, but one thing is certain. The current chapter of their story is one that will be studied, dissected, and remembered as a case study in the art and risk of going full scorched earth in a business where image is everything. The unfolding situation between Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds has reached a stage where every movement feels like it is being choreographed for maximum impact, and observers are beginning to see patterns that suggest this is far more than a reactive response to events. Rather, it appears to be a deliberate strategy aimed at consolidating influence, shaping narratives, and ensuring that their positions remain strong, even amid turbulence. This calculated approach has created ripples throughout the industry as fellow actors, producers, publicists, and executives watch closely for signs of where the story might go next. In an environment where perception can be as important as talent or box office draw, maintaining control over the public conversation is a powerful tool, and it seems the couple has decided to wield that tool with precision and without hesitation. One of the more fascinating aspects of this scorched earth phase is how it blends personal and professional arenas, blurring the lines between public persona and behind-the-scenes realities. Fans are seeing glimpses of a more intense, focused, and perhaps even aggressive version of both Blake and Ryan, a version that is not afraid to challenge conventional wisdom about how celebrities should handle disputes and public image management, rather than adopting the traditionally safer route of issuing bland statements or letting time smooth over controversies. They are actively shaping the storyline in ways that keep it alive in headlines and in the public consciousness. This constant engagement with the narrative keeps their supporters energized, while at the same time making it harder for critics to dictate the terms of the conversation. Each carefully timed appearance or release of information seems to be calibrated to create a specific reaction, whether it is sparking debate, drawing sympathy, rallying allies, or shifting focus away from less favorable elements. In doing so, they have managed to maintain a pace of developments that keeps audiences hooked, Much like an ongoing series where each episode leaves viewers eager for the next, the media has become both a participant and a tool in this process, with coverage that magnifies every statement and every visual cue, allowing even subtle gestures or remarks to take on larger meaning. This amplification effect has been particularly evident on social media, where short clips, quotes, and images can circulate globally within hours, creating momentum that can work in favor of those who know how to harness it effectively. By positioning themselves as central figures in one of the most talked about ongoing narratives in Hollywood, they ensure that their relevance and influence remain strong regardless of any short-term controversies. Some insiders suggest that this approach carries significant risks, because sustaining such an intense level of engagement with a volatile story can lead to fatigue among audiences and potential missteps that could shift sentiment. Others argue, however, that in an era where attention is currency, maintaining high visibility is essential, and that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are simply adapting to the realities of modern celebrity culture, where the spotlight is constant, and the pace of news cycles demands proactive storytelling. The result of their strategy so far is a landscape where speculation thrives. Every small development is dissected for meaning, and predictions about their next move become a form of entertainment in their own right. Projects connected to them, whether films, endorsements, or other ventures, are inevitably drawn into the conversation, adding layers of complexity to the situation as stakeholders weigh the potential benefits and drawbacks of association with such a high-profile unfolding drama. Despite the intensity of the moment, the couple has shown no sign of slowing down their momentum. If anything, they appear to be accelerating their efforts, leaning into the narrative with a confidence that suggests they believe they can shape its direction to their advantage. This belief may come from their experience in navigating the entertainment industry for years, where they have built successful careers not only on talent, but on understanding the mechanics of publicity, branding, and audience engagement. Their willingness to take bold steps now may be rooted in the idea that controlling the story today could pay dividends in the opportunities and perception they enjoy in the future. Whatever their ultimate objective may be, the immediate effect is undeniable. The conversation around them is vibrant, polarized, and sustained, and in Hollywood, that kind of attention is often seen as a form of power. The question now is how far they are willing to take this scorched earth approach, and whether there is a point at which the risks outweigh the rewards, or if they will continue to push forward undeterred by the turbulence that surrounds them. For now, the industry watches, waits, and speculates, knowing that in a climate like this, the next development could come at any moment and change the dynamics yet again. As the tension surrounding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds continues to mount, the conversation has shifted from whether this situation will escalate to how far it will ultimately go. Many industry observers believe the pair has already crossed into a rare zone where every move is not just about defense or damage control, but about fundamentally reshaping the landscape around them. This is not simply a matter of addressing one controversy or responding to one rival, but rather an ambitious effort to redefine the narrative in their favor and potentially alter the balance of influence within. Certain Hollywood circles, those close to the situation, have noted that both Blake and Ryan have extensive networks in the entertainment world, and they seem to be leveraging those relationships with precision, using alliances, media connections, and professional partnerships to ensure that their version of events is heard and amplified across multiple channels. This has created a feedback loop where supportive voices boost their narrative, leading to more coverage, which in turn reinforces their position. The energy behind this movement is unmistakable, and it has given rise to a series of high-profile moments that dominate entertainment news cycles at a pace few others can match. Some have likened it to a political campaign in which the couple is running not for office, but for dominance in the court of public opinion. Every interview, appearance, and statement becomes part of a coordinated push to maintain momentum and ensure that they remain the central figures in the ongoing drama. The impact of this approach extends beyond their personal reputations, affecting the way their professional work is received, and even influencing how potential collaborators view future projects with them in the competitive world of Hollywood, where reputation can make or break opportunities. The ability to command attention and shape perception is a formidable advantage. Yet this same intensity carries inherent risks, because the longer the spotlight stays fixed, the greater the scrutiny becomes already. There are signs that journalists, analysts, and commentators are beginning to dig deeper, searching for inconsistencies or underlying motives that could shift public sentiment in an instant. This is the double-edged sword of a Scorched Earth strategy. While it can clear the field of opposition, it can also expose vulnerabilities if not managed with precision to their credit. Blake and Ryan appear to be aware of this dynamic and have so far managed to stay ahead of potentially damaging turns by controlling the flow of information and staying disciplined in their public messaging. Their ability to maintain composure under intense scrutiny has been a key factor in keeping their strategy viable and their brand intact. Supporters of the couple argue that their actions demonstrate strength, resilience, and a refusal to be defined by the agendas of others' detractors. However, warn that there is a fine line between controlling a narrative and overextending it to the point where it begins to feel manufactured or manipulative in the current climate. The public appetite for drama is high, but so too is the skepticism toward those who appear to be orchestrating it. The challenge for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds will be to navigate this balance, ensuring that they remain compelling without crossing into territory that could undermine their credibility in the long run. For now, though, the pace shows no sign of slowing, with each week bringing new developments that seem to raise the stakes even further. Whether through unexpected public appearances, strategic collaborations, or carefully timed releases of information, they have kept audiences engaged in a way that few celebrity stories manage to achieve, and in doing so they have ensured that the phrase "Scorched Earth" will be remembered as more than just a momentary description, but as a defining characteristic of this chapter in their careers and their public lives. As the dust begins to settle on this turbulent chapter, one truth has become impossible to ignore. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have shown a level of determination and calculated persistence that few in Hollywood have ever attempted. They have not merely navigated a storm, they have harnessed it, using its energy to propel themselves forward and to command the public stage in a way that feels deliberate, measured, and relentless. Their Scorched Earth approach has not been about reckless destruction, but rather about reshaping the landscape around them to ensure their position remains strong and unchallenged. They have made bold moves that carried undeniable risks, yet each decision has been made with the apparent belief that the long-term rewards would outweigh any temporary setbacks. In doing so, they have forced both allies and critics to reckon with their presence, their influence, and their refusal to be sidelined in an industry where narratives can shift overnight, where public perception can be as volatile as the box office, and where alliances can crumble under the slightest pressure. They have maintained control of their story with a discipline that is as impressive as it is rare. There is no denying that this strategy has polarized opinion. Some see it as a masterclass in resilience, brand protection, and strategic dominance, while others question whether such an unyielding approach can truly sustain itself over time. Regardless of which side the audience finds themselves on, the impact is undeniable. The headlines, the debates, the constant speculation all serve as proof that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have achieved what they set out to do. They have made themselves impossible to ignore. The question now is not whether they will fade from relevance, but rather what form their next move will take. Will they maintain this relentless pace, or will they shift into a new phase one that builds upon the foundation they have created and extends their influence even further? For now, the world watches the cameras roll and the conversation continues, because in Hollywood, where image is power and perception is currency, few have ever played the game with such visible intensity. And for those who study the art of celebrity strategy, this moment will be remembered as the time Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds went all in, embraced the chaos, and emerged not diminished, but stronger, sharper, and more in command of their story than ever before.